How's it going, everyone? How are we doing tonight? Hey, Siege, how's it going? We'll be starting in just a minute. Oh, still tired. Still tired. Juggling work and making videos is definitely tiring. Hey, Yuki. Your phone's over there. Rams. Can you tell your mum to make me a coffee, please? Or can you make it? Hmm? Why not? Oh. We're just starting. Hey, Rick. What do you mean, Dwayne? What do you mean? Oh, come on. Okay, there we go. I thought it broke again. I was like, don't you dare break. What conversation? I'm only asking my 9-year-old to make me some coffee. He can do it. I have faith. I have faith he can do it. So, how is everyone? What are we up to? I'm guessing my chat box isn't working. Why is my chat box not working? Let's fix the chat box. You know, I actually deleted like so many. I mean, that should be working. It should be. There you go. Man, that contrast is really bad. That fails pretty much every accessibility, and it makes me feel dirty. As a member of QA, that makes me feel dirty. It does. So let's see if we can get around this in another way. Pop out. Put that there. Put that back. I take my QA job very seriously. Do you know what? That'll do. I wonder if I shrink that in a bit like that, then I can do that to make it fit better. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. But there is nothing wrong with me asking my 9-year-old to make me coffee. Super zoomed in? Shouldn't be. Child abuse? What do you mean? It's 9 p.m. What do I need coffee for? To stay awake. I think I mentioned to you earlier, Siege, my sleeping patterns are all over the place. I'll be up now till about, maybe 5, 6 a.m. in the morning. I will go bed at around 5, 6 a.m. I will wake up for 8 a.m., start work, get to about 3 p.m., hope that no one contacts me from work for the next 2 hours and pass out. And then wake up around 8 o'clock and still be tired. And then try and have some coffee. Obviously, we're not going to do that on Thursday because on Thursday we have the live direct, which starts at 8. So I'm trying to sort my sleeping patterns out for that. On Thursday, we'll be joined by Power Boss as well for the actual live stream with the developers direct. So you'll be having both of us there to banter on. So that'll be good. Hey, Rabbi. Peanut, how's it going? Secondary Protocol, welcome to the stream. And yeah, Friday won't be so much of a news day. I mean, we're going to have some news that I'm going to go over, but we are going to be playing on Friday Palworld. That is the aim of the game on Friday. So we've got a big news day today. Dev Direct and a bit of news on Thursday. Palworld for Friday. I'm doing good, Rabbi. How are you? Ah, yeah, Bruno. Okay, that's good. I had someone turn around on Twitter on my Discord tell me that they're whole grain bread, so I introduced myself as brown bread. I think it went down well. Is Deadpool 2 confirmed? They probably. I mean, they never had a release date for Stalker. Everyone assumed Stalker would be at the beginning, but they never announced it, so they never really changed it. But I think September's okay. It looks like they're going to be releasing a big update every 2 months. So it looks like they're going to have 6 games coming out this year, inclusive of COD. Zdrogdol, how's it going? Oh, that's what I'm talking about. See, my little boy didn't bring it, but my daughter did. Look, everyone's seen you on camera. They literally just saw you. There's no escape now. You don't need to run away. They caught you. Oh well. She ran off. Am I happy with the delay? No. But if they need the time, then they need the time. I'd rather they finished it. At the end of the day, the fact that Stalker 2 is even coming out is a miracle. The amount of people that passed away during the war, which is still ongoing, and they still managed to work and finish it, is a miracle. So if they want to release it in September because they need a bit more time, they can have all the time in the world they want. That is one company, one studio that I will never begrudge. The fact that they're even releasing it, in my opinion, deserves credit. All right. It is the same game, just with a couple of cosmetic differences. It's no difference. Well, you've got the game mode, which I think I've been given an embargo to talk about. I can't talk about it until the 18th. So it is what it is. What did Capcom do now? Yeah. And you know, from what I've heard about the new game mode, I know people are overly exaggerating it, but apparently the content you get is worth the $10. So, I mean, there could be bugs, Rebby. We don't know. I'm not worried about it. Like I said, a lot of people have died making that game. So if there's bugs, there's bugs. I'm not going to hold that against them. I'm just happy that the game is coming out and they're able to put something out, you know, in honor of all those that have, you know, dedicated their life to bringing that game out. But if there's bugs, there's going to be bugs. Unfortunately, QA isn't one of the things that companies invest in these days. So, with the high turnover of QA, it's never going to be at the standard it needs to be. That's just a reality, right? Hey, why so serious? Apparently, that bricking stuff may have been exaggerated. Someone sent me a mess. Well, someone left a comment, so I went digging. I found one post, but it wasn't concrete enough. I'm still trying to find more information on it. Apparently, it was over exaggerated. If I find the posts that he was saying, apparently, it wouldn't let him post the links. So I'm still crawling Reddit to try and find it. And if I do, I'll post a follow up video on that. But if I can't, then it is what it is. I mean, everyone wants a zero bug game, Rabbi. Whether we get it or not is a completely different matter. But everyone wants it. I don't think anyone wants a game like Cyberpunk 2077 launch. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I get it. I get it. That I get. Squiggles. Yeah, I've got my video of that coming tomorrow. There's too many videos. I've actually been lost count which ones I was supposed to publish. We will not be getting Starfield tomorrow. That is correct. That is correct. I see Dwayne has gone silent too. But yeah. Oh. I mean, I'm not worried. Like I said, that development studio has gone through a lot of hardship. So I'm not worried at all. If there's bugs, there's bugs. As long as they're not game breaking bugs, it doesn't really matter. Like I was saying, when it comes to QA, companies don't invest enough in QA. So it's a problem within the games industry. The turnover of QA is really high. And they are usually the first to be let go. Like when I used to work at Sega, they used to employ on the busy periods around 900 QA members around the clock, 24 hours a day. You'd have the early shift, the day shift, and the graveyard shift. And then after like 2-3 months of proper knuckle down round the clock work, when the projects were delivered, around 600, 700 would be let go, only to be rehired like 2-3 months later because workers come in again. Now we've only just started stage. We've only just started. We've only just started. Though I see that my tweet here, people seem to like my satire, my mocking of the. What do you think of my sauce? I put a lot of effort into that. I put a lot of effort into that, you know, to try and get that information and put it out there. I tried to find that meme, the voices in my head told me, but I couldn't find it. It made me sad. I wanted that meme. But yeah, you've heard it here, folks. My top secret source, trust me, bro, has confirmed that God of War, Ragnarok, and the original plus Returnal are all coming to Xbox. At least I got to name my source. Others can't even name their source, but I named mine. His name, trust me, bro. I think this story here is ridiculous, right? Did you guys see this one? Police have seized my wife's laptop after one of her friends discovered and reported my wife's modded version of Skyrim. Have you seen this? This is actually real, by the way. This is not a joke. This is here in the UK. They have indeed force. It is strong with this one. But this one here is ridiculous, right? Do you know what she actually did? So apparently there's a mod. There's a mod, right, that allows you to have relations with a wolf. I'm talking proper relations, like bestiality relations. And so, because of that mod, the police decided that they would come in and confiscate the laptop. Of course, the fact that Baldur's Gate 3 exists is the funny part, right? The fact that Baldur's Gate 3 exists and you can have relations with a pig or a bear or whatever the hell you want, that's okay. But adding a mod that allows it with a wolf, nah, that you crossed the line there, buddy. You crossed the line. But yeah, that was funny. I didn't hear about that. About my whole paycheck, the front is a pony. But it's like Baldur's Gate 3 exists. Why is this a problem? It's not like it's not anywhere else. Last night it was I'm not sure if you've seen someone on X called PMS Jordan. I mean, I wasn't expecting a shadow drop. I mean, people were talking about it, but do you guys know the story as to why? I mean, I know I put it in a video, but you may not have seen it. But do you know the story why Hi-Fi Rush was shadow dropped? It's okay doing the oink, but snagging a wolf is sacrilege. You didn't? Okay, so basically, Hi-Fi Rush was supposed to be teased in 2020, but because the Bethesda acquisition was taking place, they weren't basically permitted to do it, so they had to hold it back. Maybe because it was coming to the PlayStation as well. We don't know. Uh, then it was supposed to be announced. They were supposed to do like a reveal at the 2022 Game Awards to show it's coming to Xbox. But then the acquisition with Activision Blizzard was taking place. So that didn't work out either. So they couldn't do it then either. And well, it got to 2023 and the game's been sitting there ready for ages. It's had no marketing, no real window to market because of the whole FTC trial. So they just decided that they're just going to drop it and hope for the best. And, thankfully it did, it got the reaction that they wanted. It was an overwhelming success. But, yeah, that's why it was shadow dropped. It wasn't planned to be a shadow drop. It was just a victim of circumstances that made it a shadow drop. So that game was supposed to be advertised in 2020, 2022, and then they just said, fuck it, just release the goddamn thing. What's the worst that can happen? I mean that's like I said earlier, like I'm expecting Stalker 2 to be good, but I also expect it to be, you know, I expect it to have bugs. And I know the PlayStation fans, the ponies, are going to come out in full force and say, oh, look at that, it's got bugs. But the fact is, right, like you said, that game was built during a full fledged war. And people died during the making of that game. People were actually coding and developing in a bathtub to try and protect themselves from mortar shells that were being thrown out and flying about in the city. And while they were in their bathtub trying to shield themselves and protect themselves, they were working. So if that game has bugs or anything like that, I really couldn't care less. That is going to be one game that I do actually go and buy. I know it's going to be day one on Game Pass, and obviously everyone is free to play it on Game Pass. But I think they went through so much hardship to get that game out that I'm gonna just fork out the money and just pick it up. I think they deserve that. Just for, the sheer determination and the fact that so many people just lost their lives during the making of that game for a war that wasn't even, their fault or necessary. It's supposed to be really good, Zero. We'll be playing it tomorrow on stream. Uh Hi-Fi Rush, yeah, it was a perfect shadow drop. It absolutely was. It was a type of game that could get away with it. It was short, sweet, and to the point. Easy to get into, difficult to master, beautifully detailed in its graphics. It just worked. Well, I'm thinking they've got 6 games. So COD is going to be another one, obviously. So that's 4. What's the other 2? I guess Towerborn is another one. Yeah, 19th. Yeah, on Friday, I'll be joined by Power Boss again, and we'll be playing co-op on Power World. I can test it out eventually. Well, I can't. I don't know if I can test it out. It'll work great on cloud. I can tell you that what is it? The new Prince of Persia game on the Steam Deck, running through the Ubisoft Connect using Proton on the Steam OS, running Ultra, runs at a constant 60 FPS during the game. And during the cutscenes, it drops a few frames, maybe down to like 45, 55, but you don't actually ever see any slowdown. So I think it's just the way the cutscenes were made. But you don't see any like frame skipping on the cutscenes. But in the actual game, it never drops below 60. It's locked. I mean, I suspect over on Steam, unless it has an anti-cheat, you'll be able to play it. I remember Phil saying 33 Immortals. Maybe. Well, they've already announced that there's going to be no Shadow Drop. But I think Talborn is going to be another one, so that would be 5. So there's just one more left to fill in the void of 6, and then that would be one game dropped every 2 months. That's not bad. Also, I wanted to make a correction. On gaming, I made a video about Paris, and we all heard the clip where he was basically advocating for the game to go onto the Nintendo Switch. But what the person didn't actually capture, which was brought to my attention, and I think is a little out of order, was the fact that he went on to say that if Microsoft decide to bring games like Halo, Starfield, Avowed, or any of that ilk to another platform, at that point the console is dead and there's no point in the console existing. Like, he would not be happy with that at all, under any circumstances. He would not be happy with that. But with the smaller titles like Pentiment, like Hi-Fi Rush, which was a smaller release, it was a good game and it was one of the best games Xbox had in 2023. Let's not beat that around the bush, but it is a AA game and it's not a AAA game. His view is that those games, after a year or two going to like the Nintendo Switch, is fine to advertise Game Pass. But games like Starfield, Avowed, Hellblade 2, Halo Infinite, those games, the moment they go, he would not be happy for it. So I wasn't aware of that part of the clip, obviously, because I just saw the clip that was there, and it was engineered in a way to make it look as bad as possible. So I just wanted to clear that up, because I think some of the things I said, which I still stand by, a lot of it, to be fair, because I wasn't disrespectful to him, I wasn't rude to him, but I think that bit needed clarification. And if he is watching the stream or if he watches the recast, I just wanted to say I'm sorry. I'm not that type of person where I won't admit my mistakes. So I think but I still stand by most of what I said in terms of console harm. Leafstorm, I can't see the thing. Okay, I wouldn't mind playing that, but yeah, they said Power World was compatible with Deck, but also so it's 32 gigs of RAM for the highest setting on Power World. Well, you're not going to run it on the highest setting, are you? Not on the Steam Deck anyway. I can see 33 Immortals being as popular as Castle Crashers that was on the Xbox 360. Oh, I remember the Castle Crashers. Damn, Zero. Damn. You going retro. I mean, the 360 isn't retro yet, but you get what I'm saying. I think Xbox do some for FTC to shut up. Yeah, that's what I was saying, ADM. I still stand by that exact point because I think that is primarily the reason why they're doing it. But the worst part is, Phil and his team can't come out and say, hey guys, that Hi-Fi Rush game, we're putting it on to the Nintendo Switch because we want to appease the FTC. When the time comes, we're going to buy a new one. They can't say that. And so they look like the bad guys, really. When it comes to that situation, it's a lose-lose situation. But I will say, it's a rumor. It hasn't materialized. It's still not materialized. And as my rumor over here goes, I think it's as valid as the rumor that they made. Where's my keyboard? Yeah, but this, I think my rumor here is just as valid as the rumor that, they made, which I think is perfectly, at least I've outlined a source for my rumor, which most people can't do. They just say, hey, I've got someone that told me that mystical fairy. At least I've got a source here. Well, I think the Steam Deck has 8 gigs of RAM, right? But unlike, say, like the Asus ROG, which runs on Windows, which, has a lot of bloatware and whatnot, the Steam OS doesn't have any of that. It's really efficient. So I think it's perfectly equipped to do it. And at the end of the day, if they've said it's Steam Deck verified, it means it runs. It runs 30 FPS. Chaos, it makes no sense to appease the FTC when they can literally still block them no matter what. How can they block them? How can they block them? KT the GOAT. At the end of the day, when Sega go to buy, when Microsoft go to buy Sega, or Capcom, or whoever it is that they're going to buy, the FTC is going to turn around and say, look, we said this during the ABK trial, that there is a chance they can foreclose it. All the games. At that point, Microsoft will turn around and say, hey, look, you're saying that, but we've got Diablo, Overwatch, Call of Duty, which we promised would be on those platforms. We're doing day-and-date updates with parity, like we promised. We've got Elder Scrolls, Fallout 76 on those platforms with day-and-date updates. And we said on a case-by-case basis that we would be bringing other first-party titles from these studios over to other platforms, like we promised. And here's a prime example of that with Hi-Fi Rush. We said it was a case-by-case basis. We deemed that this one was a good case study for it. So we did it. The FTC's arguments at that point will be so diminished that they might as well just pack their bags and leave because they don't have a leg to stand on at that point. They can't go on the damage to console. They can't go on the damage to foreclosure. They have nothing to argue against because Microsoft comes with receipts. So to me, that's the ultimate reason why they're doing it. What do you mean Steam Deck verification means nothing? It means it works. Otherwise, you can get your money back. The FTC, anyway, is starting to think, hey, Reforge loves Starfield now, doesn't he? Dude. Hellblade 2 May 21, is that announced? I mean, why are they announcing everything before the goddamn presentation? Why so serious? Is that official? If FTC had a leg to stand on merger, the merger wouldn't have happened. I mean, they're still trying to block it, right? They're still trying to get a divestiture right now. What they're trying to do in court right now is change the rules and regulations for a preliminary injunction. And what they want to do is basically say that even if there is a 0.1% chance that they could do this, whatever the criteria is, then that preliminary injunction should be granted. So, for example, if you are getting married with your partner, if there is a 0.1% chance that you could commit adultery and go have an affair with someone else at any point during your relationship, that marriage should be blocked, is what the FTC is saying. No one in their right mind is going to give them that power. And if they do, that is goodbye mergers indefinitely, because not a single merger will ever get through. They would cripple the global economy in the blink of an eye. But what's going to happen eventually is Biden's administration is going to get booted. And with that, Lena Khan's going to get booted. And then they're going to put in a bunch of people who actually have a brain. And everything will go back to normal service. I play games on the deck. Where is it? I play games on the deck and they say it won't run. What games? Oh, yeah. The ones that they say won't run are games that have problems. Like some of them that they say won't run basically will, maybe the text is illegible, or maybe a cutscene later on is a problem, or there's basically they say they can't guarantee it's working. It hasn't passed their certification. It hasn't passed their checks. Anybody see the review scores for The Last of Us 2? I swear mainstream game reviewers are brain dead. I mean, it was always going to do well, right? It's the same game. Just to waste taxpayers' money. I'm hyped to see a bunch of Avowed gameplay. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that, Leaf. The FTC's not got a chance to block if they argue on a vaporware. That's all they're doing, Green. That's all they're doing. Same way they did after Xbox complied during the ABK deal and still are fighting it. It's about bringing Microsoft down for Lena, not right or wrong. Yeah. For her, she's just against big corporations. That's it. And Biden hates Microsoft. That's no secret. Valheim is verified with a green badge and the game runs like poo. I couldn't ask a comment on that. I never played it. The CMA suck too because there's nothing saying down the road Microsoft can't buy Ubisoft and they'll just have a different streaming agent. They can buy Ubisoft all they want, but the department that handles the online part can't be purchased. So that doesn't make sense to buy Ubisoft. What makes sense is wait 15 years. What makes sense right now, outside of waiting to 15 years, is going to Ubisoft and buying an exclusive license to have those games on their streaming platform only. Which they can do, by the way. Kate Goat, the legend. Low settings with one bump up on drop systems 30 FPS. Yeah, see, it works. We all know Reforge is a clown digit. We all do. Can't Microsoft just sue the FTC? Nope. I mean, they probably could, but they'd have the whole Biden administration to fight. It's not worth it. The Starfield beta was pushed back a couple of days. That's how bad games don't want so badly. Hey, Power Boss, how's it going, my dude? How is it going? I'll have to start looking at Sony because everything Khan said about Microsoft, Sony is actually doing. Yeah, but they won't touch Sony. Don't forget the FTC has, I'm guessing, has shares inside Sony, so they won't touch them. Excited. I mean, not as much as Microsoft last, but they've got some games that are all going to PC as well. So I think you've got like 2 that's not eventually going to PC. the line between exclusive and non-exclusive is getting blurred really, really fast. And that's what I'll agree with. Xbox not gonna buy with Lena in the office. They'll wait her out and pay off Trump. I mean, Trump is all about pro-America, right? He is pro-business. He always has been. I don't know if Trump will ever get into power, but whoever gets into power is probably going to be pro-business as well. So at that point, mergers will be going through left, right, and center. IGN hates Xbox. Hey, Chris, how's it going? People say Sony has no games are stupid as the people that say Xbox has no games. I mean, they're only saying they're only saying it to those people that said Xbox has no games for the last year or so, even though they did. Everyone knows they did. But, you know, they took it for like a year and a half. So they're just giving back as good as they get. It's just a bit of banter. That's all it is. We're just looking at my claim for what my sources have told me. It's a pretty it comes from a good source. Wife is a PS scale and I love Xbox. My wife just says, "You're gonna play some games? Yeah, okay. Here's some energy drinks, here's some snacks, have fun." And then she goes right to the other room. Power, no problem at all. I was just letting them know at the start of the stream that you'll be joining me on Thursday for the Dev Direct and on Friday for Pal World. I don't know if Reforge is a PS stand, but he's definitely running with a few. He's a pony. Well and true pony. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so, Last. My sources trust me, bro. Holt. It's a good source. It's the best source. No other source is going to be better than trust me, bro. My sources told me that all Sony games, including Spider-Man 2, will be on Game Pass. Hey, Leaf, I've heard Spider-Man 5 is going to be on there too. Nando's hot sauce. Yeah, I like having Boss on here. It does spice up the streams a little bit, gives it a different dynamic from the solo incursions. So, what do you think of this story here? I like it, Lost. I like it. I have insider info. GTA 7 is confirmed PSA exclusive. Maybe PS9, considering it takes like 10-15 years for them to make a game. I like it. I haven't had it in ages though, rip, because it's so expensive to buy random stuff like that. PlayStation ponies say Xbox has no games because the games go to PC, but I heard PlayStation wants their games to come out on everything. I mean, honestly, it's the way that everything is going. Eventually, you know, I don't think that consoles on their own, man, I've got something stuck in my throat, are enough for companies. Like Sony still hasn't revealed numbers for Spider-Man. The last numbers we got from Spider-Man were 5 million. And they need 7.1 million sales from, I would say, digital in order to break even. Now, obviously, there's a bunch of physicals that get sold, so that actually bumps up that 7.1 million. And if the bundles are being there, you're looking on average about 9 million units to break even if you're combining digital, physical, and bundles. So that's a lot of units they need just to break even. It's a lot of money. You know, the Marvel deals are really bad. Really, really, really bad. So those games going day and date on PC actually makes sense because you want to maximize your potential. They stand to lose like a lot of money if they can't, you know, break even. It's a very dangerous game, and Marvel are being absolute arsewipes with the deals that they have. But they're in such a powerful position that they can actually do it, and that's the problem. And I don't like it. Not for Microsoft, not for Sony. It's a bad deal. A bad deal is a bad deal. Generated AI, get them a lot of negativity, but there's no AI in the actual game, right? This statement here, right? All the core elements were handmade. It is just the album cover that comes with, I think, physical or whatever it is, that is AI generated. Just the album cover, not the characters, not the maps, not the weapons, not the arena, not the elements. All of that is handcrafted. The entire game is handcrafted. What is AI generated is the album. I have no idea what the album cover is. I thought it was music, but apparently it's not. So nothing in the game is actually AI generated. So, like, what's the big deal? When Sony signs deal with the devil, I mean, it's a bad deal. A bad deal is a bad deal. Don't forget, Chaos, a lot of consumers will be buying Spider-Man 2 secondhand. That will take away some of the sales. There's a lot of secondhand games out there right now. A lot. A lot. And that's another negative. So I've been seeing like a lot of people saying that the MAUs for Spider-Man 2 are really high. But there's a lot of people buying that game secondhand. And this is something that companies want to get away from. And this is why physicals are disappearing. Because of the secondhand market. Because they don't get any of that pie. If they did, I don't think it would be so bad. But because they get nothing from that secondhand sale, it's a problem. I think them putting it on PS Plus was a good idea, personally. A game like this lives and dies by its player base, right? If it hasn't got the player base, it's gonna die. So by putting it on PS Plus, I think they make it give it as, especially day one. I think they've given it as good of a chance as it can possibly get to succeed. So good luck to them. From what I've heard, the game is fun. I never got to try it during the closed beta, mainly because I couldn't sign in. Apparently, other people had that problem as well. But, you know, I'll give it a try when it's out. I'll give it a try. CEX website is loaded, dude. The one in Bexley Heath in the store, they had over 60 when I last went in 2 weeks ago. But they were selling fast. They told me they were selling like 10, 12 copies a day. But what is people's hatred towards this game? The fact that it's got AI? My dude, where are the people that are... where's the people that are protesting for QA workers with automated testing that has completely and utterly eradicated the need for a QA member. No, CEX. I mean, Computer Exchange is all about secondhand, so they will never stop. In Hounslow as well. Yeah. I mean, everyone was trading it in day one, right, to get the maximum profits from the game. I mean, it is a Splatoon ripoff, but not everyone wants a Switch. And if you don't have a Switch, this is the next best thing right now. I mean, everyone said Genshin Impact was a Breath of the Wild ripoff. Guess what? No one's playing Breath of the Wild, but everyone is still playing Genshin Impact. And do you know what? No one's buying Breath of the Wild. Genshin Impact is making $90 million a month. So that doesn't really mean anything. Not saying that this game is going to make that much money. I'm just giving a good, a contrast of views. By the time the DLC comes out, Mark, the game is going to be in the bargain bucket. I mean, Genshin is a single player game. I mean, it has a multiplayer element, but the core of the game is all single player. You only get multiplayer in either the domains, which you can do solo anyway with a lot of ease, or in some of the mini events that they do, which again complicates things rather than making it easier. I mean, for all we know, this game has a budget of like 50 million, maybe less. So all they need is like a few months of good microtransactions and they've made their money. Oh, right. Genshin Impact's a live service. It is, yeah. But the fact is, I don't get the whole AI being that big of an issue for this game when 99% of everything was handcrafted and it was only the cover album that was done with AI. But you've got people saying that they're going to boycott it because the word AI was used. I don't know. Hey, Derek, thank you for the sub. Yeah, I think people overreacted to this a little bit. Evening, artists need to embrace AI like how Adobe replaced a lot of physical VFX and arts for media. I agree. It's the future. It's not stopping. All these people thinking that it's going to stop, it's not stopping. It's not going to stop. It's not going to change, and AI will go rampant. You know, it's just the way it is. So people can either learn to use it as an aid to what they're already doing, or they're going to be left behind. Yeah, I didn't know. Yeah, it's just the album. Let's see if it actually says what the album is. The game's development team used Midjourney to create in-game icons. Does it show? That's it. Like it was just a couple of the icons, but everything else, like the poster art, the key art, the box art, the character art, the level art, the design, all of that was done by artists. Like, I think that's okay, right? I think that's okay. I really don't see this as a big problem. But the reality is, you're either going to change with the times or you get left behind. Yes, by albums, they're talking about icons, the actual icons. I don't see that as a problem. I think people are overreacting. But it's icons now. I mean, look at God of War. They use AI to populate and create all the foliage and trees that are around the game, and also used AI to place them around. Why wasn't anyone complaining about that art style? There was no artists used in the creation of any of the trees and the foliage in that game. Where's the outcry for that one? It seems a little the standards seem to be the goalposts seem to be shifting a little bit. Hey, Crafty, how's it going? It's procedural, yes, but what's creating the art in there? What's creating the actual trees? Those are all AI generated. They're not, someone didn't actually go in and create that tree and then say, hey, procedurally place this all around. That was all done via AI. I have no idea what's gotten into Colt Eastwood. It's almost like his stance is either he knows something that no one else does, or maybe he's changed his tune and now he just wants everything on PC because he's a primary PC gamer. I'm happy you're here, Crafty. I don't want to get clickbaited. Hey, look, last one thing you can get with me, no clickbaits. I don't ever do clickbait. I don't like it. It's not my thing, and I hate it when I get clickbaited, personally. So, at least you know when you're coming to my videos, you'll never get that. All right, look, guys, I have to ask this question, right? So I saw this and I expanded it. I'm not going to spend too much time on this because this dude decides that he wants to write a whole fucking essay that no one's ever going to read because no one's got time for that. And it keeps on going like he's writing a short novella, and then he is wrong. After all of that, he's wrong. Okay, so let's look at the evidence that he's posted. They launched and grew Xbox Game Pass to 25 million subscribers. So can we agree that this dude, whoever it was, I can't see the name, grew Xbox Game Pass to 25 million subscribers? Hey, CBH, how's it going? But can we agree that he grew Game Pass to 25 million subscribers? Are we all agreed with that? So there's no confusion here at all. Because I'm going to work something out now, and I want all of you to work with me on this one, which is why I'm going to be very quick on this. So, the 25 million here was the 25 million that was posted a couple years ago. Right? Now, this over here, go to market, GTM, planning. They're planning expansions to PC, iOS, and Android, and partnerships with Alienware, EA Play, Spotify, and Disney. So these, as of the 25 million subscribers, have not taken place. Right? So they haven't taken place. So as that 25 million is Game Pass, right? At the time. So then you add PC Game Pass because this hasn't even come into it. These are SKUs that they are planning to expand at the time to PC, iOS, and Android. And as we know from previous interactions, this had gone to 15 million. But do you know what? I'm going to turn around and say, let's say that it was 10 million. Right? Let's say it was 10 million. So that takes it to 35 million, right? with the PC. This number doesn't include the Xbox Live members, which turned into Xbox Game Pass core members. And that is another 11 million. So if we're at 35 plus 11, that's 46, unless my maths is wrong. So I'm going to knock off a couple of million because maybe they lost a few here, right? Because we do know that Game Pass on its own right now, as of 2023 August, or was it April, was sitting at 21 million, 21.9 million, so about 22 million. So if that was at 22 million, and we know that Game Pass Xbox Live was at 11.7, so let's just round it up to 12 million. So if we're at 22 there, we'll go to 24, 34. And then if we give 10 million to PC, that's 44. So my maths adds up, right? But he is still adamant that it's at 25 million. He still thinks that there's not been a single person that purchased Game Pass in 2 years. And then he goes on, where is it? And tries to post all this stuff to try and prove his point, which is a complete and utter bullshit drizzle that no one's got time for, where he tries to justify himself and his existence as an Xbox fan, as a PlayStation fanboy, who not only got banned from Resetera, but also got banned from Icon era and Xbox era, and now the only outlet he has is Twitter to try and get his points across, but he keeps on saying that he's not a pony. But all he does day in and day out is try to push Sony. Yeah, this guy really sat here and he sat here and wrote all this, and it's bullshit as well. It's bullshit. Yeah, you can't do that, Green Goblin. You can't do that. Not in this day and age, unfortunately. But, he's already been banned from Resetera because he tried to console war there. He's already been banned from other subreddits as well. But he's still adamant, despite the fact that this here proves that he is wrong. This right here proves that he is wrong. He's still trying to claim, and the way he's trying to claim it is if he puts down enough text, and I'm pretty sure, right? I'm pretty sure he's using ChatGPT to write this out. I really don't believe anyone is that goddamn sad to sit there for half an hour to think about and write all this out. You can't be that sad. You cannot be that sad. If you're going to sit here for 25, 30 minutes to think about and write all this out, you need to go out more. And that's coming from someone that doesn't go out due to medical reasons. You need to go out more. Maybe go out and get laid. You know what I mean? Like I stand by my numbers, and the thing is, I actually saw 44 million. Do you remember when Microsoft accidentally leaked their own documents during the FTC trial? It was actually in that document with the 44 million. The 44 million was actually in those documents. But I can't find it. I did try to, scroll the internet. I couldn't find it. But yeah, Nib is just weird. He just reminds me of another Reforge, honestly. But unlike Reforge, who likes to get himself bodied left, right, and center, Nib goes the other route, where he tries to put so much text that just no one wants to read it, and just, it's like that guy at work, right? It's like that guy at work. When you go and speak to your boss, and he really doesn't care, and he just turns around and says to you, If I say yes, will you go away? It's starting to become that kind of situation with him. Yeah, Xbox had 29 million. Correct. That is correct. That was the numbers from back then. That number wasn't including Xbox Live Game Pass Core. So even if we took, right, even if we took that number there, which is 29 million, which it's more than that, right? I know it's more. But even if we decided that we're going to gimp the numbers and take that 29 million plus the 11 million from Xbox Core, Game Pass Core, that brings it to 40 million on its own. You have to be mathematically brain dead to not understand that 29 plus 11 equals, 40. And then to turn around and say that no, 29 plus 11 equals 25, there must be some brain damage there, right? There has to be. There has to be, right? That was before Core. That wasn't including Core. Game Pass Core changed way past the FTC trial. There you go. You're looking at the stuff that I'm looking at, the one that I found. So 33.6 million is Game Pass, excluding PC. 21.9 million for Xbox Live for Game Pass, and 11.7 million for Core. Hey, almost $10 from Jin Bambino, just supporting. I'll subscribe after the gym. I like the energy and mods in here. Thank you very much for the support, Jim Bambino. I appreciate you. I hope you're having a good time at the gym. I miss going to the gym. I used to be a gym rat myself. Literally. I used to pump so much weights. I actually miss going to the gym. I just can't do it on my own. For those of you that can actually go to the gym and do it on your own, like, I have mad respect for you, man. If I go to the gym and I'm on my own, I get bored so fast. I've got zero motivation. I heard PS5 is struggling to run the new Prince of Persia game at 120. That is correct. That is correct. But, now the goalposts have moved, Maniac. Now the goalposts has moved. Well, if I've got VRR, it's not a problem, is it? So, it's not like the naked eye is going to see anything past 60 frames. Trust me, you can see past 60 frames. I can notice past 60 frames. Past 120, I can't see it. But past 60, I can. Source, trust me, bro. I have an active PlayStation Plus, but I haven't turned on my PlayStation since Armored Core 6. I just buy both and deal with it. Sony didn't disclose numbers for PS Plus. Force, they were. And then they had 2 months of sharp drops of PlayStation Plus subscribers. And I guess this was during the time when they were about to increase the price. A few months before they increased the price for PlayStation Plus, the whole trio. They basically announced that they're no longer reporting numbers after the 2 sharp drops, because they probably anticipated that they were going to have another sharp drop after the price increase. So since then, they've decided that they're not going to share it. And, I get it. But it is what it is. Wait. What do you mean, What do you mean, Power Boss? Hey, Devastator, how's it going? I've just lost 4 stone in last year. It was hard work, but worth it. Congratulations, dude. VRR, Windows and stuff. Guys, don't talk about these kind of things around PC gamers. Makes you look like peasants. Prince of Persia. So basically, if you're running the game can run 4K 120 FPS on consoles. It's the first game that can actually do that. I think. Native as well. But on PlayStation 5, it can't maintain 120 FPS. On the Series X, it does it without even breaking a sweat. But now they're saying that because of VRR, it doesn't matter. It can drop those 10 frames and no one notices. But if the tables were turned, oh my god, look at that loss of 10 FPS. That's what it would have been. No, it drops down to like 110. But what is actually even more surprising is the fact that the Steam Deck can run it at 60 FPS on ultra settings. That's pretty sweet. It's like the perfect game for the Steam Deck. Anything I can see Sony ever doing is bringing their exclusives to PS Plus day one. I do think they'll bring their exclusives to PC one day in the future, though. Yeah, but if they bring their exclusives to PS Plus day one, I think it'll be on a new subscription tier called Platinum. Does it have DRM? Yes, it does, I think. No, it doesn't. It kind of does and doesn't. So if you're connected to the internet, it's going to ask you to connect to Ubisoft Connect before you can play. If you're not connected to the internet, then you can skip the whole Ubisoft Connect part because it can't send a signal to Ubisoft Connect. So you can still play. Hey, Josh, welcome to the stream. I'm doing good, thanks. How about you? Nobody mentions the PS5 might also melt at 120 FPS. Did you guys see the really slim PS5 that was made by a random person that actually works? I'll show it to you after this. I haven't actually heard this clip yet, but I really don't get why Jez and co are actually agreeing to this sort of thing. Guys, like you said, Sony would never go to PC, so we forgot about that. So let's listen to what this is. Let me know if you can hear. I think you should be able to hear. At least I'm hoping you'll be able to hear.
I think eventually Sony's going to do day and date on PC as well. They won't have a choice. Because like I say, 250 million Starfield on Steam. That could have been Sony in that top 10 leaderboard with some of its games that they've been launched day and date on PC instead of way after the fact with when the marketing cycles ended.
And who's to say that they won't start putting their live service games on Xbox sometime after they release them on PlayStation as a way to get more revenue? I mean, I know
MLB,
you can point to MLB right now. Did that hurt PlayStation by releasing that game everywhere? No, it didn't. People don't talk about MLB anymore like they used to, but it didn't hurt from releasing it everywhere. So there's always like, hey, they got Fair Games and Concord coming. Who's to say, Concord doesn't come to Xbox 2 years later as a live service thing? I mean, you got Marathon day one, and you never know how the industry is going to change.
So a couple of points he made there, because this is the first time I've genuinely listened to this. I do feel that at some point Sony's going to go day and date with PC for almost all their games. That's kind of inevitable. It won't be now though. Probably in a generation or so. One thing he said that I agree with, like wholeheartedly, if you are making a live service game, you want that accessible on as many platforms as possible. I mean, to me, that is a no-brainer, right? If you are making a live service, the one thing that you do not want is to cripple the chances of your game being successful. Chaos, this is going to be the best year for us Xbox fans and Xbox that we haven't seen in years. I agree. We were just looking at the games that are coming out this year, and we know 5 out of 6, because I think there's going to be 6 games. But now we know 5 of them for sure. The 6th one is still kind of up in limbo. So we know it's going to be Avowed, Hellblade 2, Call of Duty, Towerborn, Stalker 2. But what is the 6th one? I don't know. I don't think Indiana Jones is going to drop this year. Although that would be big if it did. Hey, COD is still an Xbox game now. And that's going to have its own window. Eric. But as I was saying here, at the end of the day, you want your live service games to have as big of a chance to succeed as possible. By minimizing the amount of people that can play it, you are crippling the chance of your game being successful. Now, I will refer to 2 games that I think where they are multi-plat, but they've done them in a bad way. Fallout 76 and Elder Scrolls Online. Elder Scrolls Online and Fallout 76 is multi-platform. It's available on Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. But none of them communicate. They are not crossplay. There is no communication there between the versions. Fallout 76 should have been crossplay so you can play with everyone. What does that enable? More players. The world is more populated. It means the world just lives longer. Same for Elder Scrolls Online. It's a popular franchise. Why not make it crossplay? You've already made it multi-plat. The reason why Destiny has lived for so long, Destiny was restricted to its own platform for many years, and they realized that the games itself was stagnating. The amount of players wasn't really moving. So the ideal way to get the player base bigger is to combine all of them. And then they opened it up to PC as well, and it became huge, right? That's why Marathon is going to be open to everyone. So games like Helldivers, Concord, Foam Busters, I think that's what it was called, right? Foam Busters. They should all be cross-platform. They should be. Because you want as many players playing these games as possible. If you don't, you'll have a Destruction All-Stars on your hands. And nobody wants that. I mean, nobody wants Destruction All-Stars at all. But you get my point. I don't think Final Fantasy VII Remake will ever come to Xbox. It's exclusive to PlayStation Forever. I've heard it's exclusive to PlayStation Forever as well. I've actually read articles saying that it was because Sony requested it. Let me see, what did I miss up top? I want replaced news. Me too, Derek. Me too. That is one game that I've been looking forward to for a while now. I'm looking forward to Rebirth 2, Avowed, Hellblade 2, maybe and Blade if it releases this year. Now, Blade is coming for the next Xbox. I can guarantee that. That much I can guarantee. I've actually now pretty much had that confirmed by someone to me, that it's going to be Xbox next. I'd be very surprised if that was coming to this one. So that much I can say. See? I'm starting to get sources. I'm becoming one of those people. I don't play these games online. I don't play these online games really anymore. I don't have the time. Derek, I get that. But what I'm saying is that those games, in order to survive, they need the players. MLB was a weird case, right? MLB was such a weird case where MLB just wanted their game on more platforms so they can make more money. And Sony tried to push their weight, and they said, right, if you're not going to do it, we're just going to remove the license. And then Sony were like, okay, we'll do it. While swearing as they walked away. Okay, so we all don't know about the 6th. Maybe we'll find either during the developer direct. Maybe. Maybe it's the Aura game for all we know. Good shout. It's going to be a struggle getting through all those games in 1 year. It is. PS5 console is going to outsold Xbox 10-1 this 2024. Voices in my head revealed it to me. Only Final Fantasy not on Xbox is 16 and Remake. And 11. 11 isn't there. I guess if you want to say it was on the 360, because it's no longer on the PlayStation either. Actually, I don't know if it's on the PS2 still. I know they got the latest expansion in Japan. It was one of the last games ever released on the PS2, actually. So that one, I'm thinking. Did you hear Just Gordon saying he has evidence? I think we're going to come to that in a bit. Kels, here is a question. What game do you think that will shadow drop on Thursday? None. There isn't going to be a shadow drop. If any game on PlayStation comes to PC, it's multi, not exclusive. Well, there's a lot of thing now where people say that if a game is coming to PC and it's weird. So there's console exclusive and then there's exclusive. So right now, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is exclusive, whereas Starfield is console exclusive. So I think that distinction that's there now is gonna go forever. MLB is even on Switch. Oh, really? Good Reforge video. What is wrong with this guy? It's hilarious. Hey, thanks, PS5 Blows. If any game on PS at the TheChaosLounge, can you make you can make muscle mummies in Pebbled? Oh, interesting. Do you think they will use Harrison Ford's likeness for IJ, or will they put their own spin on it? If it's not Harrison Ford, I'm going to be disappointed, Derek. Maybe a younger Harrison Ford, not the older, wrinkly one. Pixel Collection isn't on there, but the other games are, right? I'm pretty sure like the old versions of 1 and stuff are on there. If not, then yeah, those games too. Pixel Collection not being on there is weird. See, Gears Collection would be interesting. Because I've heard Microsoft said there's not going to be any shadow drop. But Gears Collection, can you imagine, right? Just picture it, right? Just picture this scene. You're watching the Dev Direct. They've just finished the final presentation. And then Phil Spencer comes on and says, but wait, there's more. And I got one more in it. The screen fades to black. And then you hear the Mad World tune. That's it. Everyone's going to go wild. Everyone's going to lose their shit, because I know I am. I absolutely would lose my shit if that happened. Will you be streaming the Developer Direct on Thursday? I absolutely will be streaming the Developers Direct. I'll be streaming it with Powerboss. I'm not even excited for Rebirth anymore. Why not? It's going to be a good game. Do you think Hellblade 2 will come to PlayStation? No. Absolutely not. Not in a million years. Any of the AAA games will not be going over. I can't even see Hi-Fi Rush going to PlayStation. I think it's going to go to the Switch. Honestly. Reforge is Copium Smoker. Look, I like Reforge. The guy's a bellend. And he provides me with enough content for me to mock, laugh, and ridicule him all at the same time. I can't go wrong with that. It's free content. I have dried periods, and he comes in clutch, providing me with the content to make. How could I turn around and tell him to stop being an idiot? Oh, Steve actually liked that. Steve's all for that last bit, wasn't he? Man, to be honest, everything needs to stop with the let's play nice stuff. I'm sorry devs may gain $5 million with going cross-plat, but will for sure lose PlayStation and Xbox if they don't keep their identities. No. K to the GOAT, 100%. They need... But look, Xbox is in a really weird position right now. Make no mistake. The one thing that it has going for it is the fact that on Game Pass, only a portion, I'd say about a third of the games that are on Game Pass are on PC Game Pass. Outside of, all the first-party games are there, but in terms of the third-party games, only a third of the games actually make it to PC. So that's what's keeping the Xbox console going. But because they're putting games day and date on PC, it's blurred that line. If you actually have a PC that's powerful enough, that can run your games at 60 to 120 FPS, the reason to own a Series X diminishes. Now, the only thing that you can possibly do to maintain relevancy is to make sure that those games remain on your console. So they can't put those, AAA games onto another platform. That has to stay there. Secondly, they need to go out and money hat third-party exclusives that are not going to PlayStation and will only appear on the Xbox platform. Then you'll see, as a timed exclusive, of course, not indefinite, maybe a year or something. And then you'll see actual change. I think they'll use a likeness, but not necessarily Harrison Ford himself. Yeah. It's going to be CGI, right? Fallout 3 remake shot. Could be. There's the Oblivion as well. No, I'm not doing seriously achievements again. They need to bring back Scalebound. Apparently they're in talks with Scalebound. They've been in talks for a while. I don't know what's happening with that one. But basically Platinum Games came and said, Microsoft were right to cancel the project. It was a game that we'd never really had experience in. And when we showcased it, it just wasn't up to par. So we've learned a lot now through other games, and we think we're ready to redevelop that. And we're in talks with Microsoft. That's the last I heard about that game. They could even use AI as Harrison Ford. Oh God, don't say that dirty word, Green Goblin. They'll chase you out of here. They'll chase you out. All right, let's see if we can quickly blitz through these. There might be a 5th game announcement though. I don't think those are gonna be the 4 games that we see. I think we're gonna see more. I don't know, man. I'm Final Fantasy VII fatigued. I mean, Final Fantasy VII is their most popular franchise, right? It's because it's the first one that came to the West market. So it's always going to be popular among many. I personally prefer 8 over 7, but 10 is my favorite. But outside of those two, 11 is my all-time favorite. Story-wise, it's a really hard toss-up between 11 and 14 because they just had a phenomenal story that went on for years. And then I'd probably say 10 and then 8. They went too far from the source material. It turned me off. No, I get it. They went different. Octopath 2. Free content. I got and played Final Fantasy VII at launch. Played the spin-offs. Dirge of Cerberus is one I haven't played. I'll probably have to download the ROM at some point and just play that. TheChaosLounge Reforged says his sources, aka voices. That guy is crazy, man. But don't worry, I've still got to make my video on him. There'll come a point where exclusives games bring no benefit to attract new players to Xbox Game Pass. At that point, there is a discussion to be had about sharing, but tentpoles need to remain exclusive. Agreed, Edward. That's the point. Final Fantasy 1 on NES was cool. My cousin had it. You know what? I like the Final Fantasy 1. The reason why I like Final Fantasy 1, because when you complete it, look, the game's old. If you haven't played it by now, not my fault for spoilers. But when you complete it, the ending actually makes sense considering there's time travel involved. For those of you that have played it, you will know what I mean, because for some reason, I'm still not going to spoil it. But the ending actually makes sense. And it is such a weird ending that you go and say to yourself, why did this end the way it did? But then it actually makes perfect sense because it's time travel. So go play it and find out. It's a good game. Chaos, I got my popcorn ready for... Wait. We haven't done the poll yet. It was 50-50. Power Boss was supposed to put the... Power Boss, you're going to put that poll up? You're going to put the poll up? I think PlayStation has the games coming. It's just a case of that Sony hasn't announced them yet. That's all. I mean, we'll see. The dreaded poll. Quantum Break, Gollum, or something else. This is a big game for Xbox, but this world... I'm not going to lie, Power World really going crazy right now. People not counting this as a big game for Xbox, but this will be one of the biggest games this year. I mean, if it's as good as people are saying it is, it's going to be massive. Massive. But at the moment, it's people who have been given early access, who have been you know, and we've seen in the past where people will shill for a game because they've got early access, because they're being promoted to do so or paid to do so. So, unfortunately, because I've seen that enough in my time, until I get to play it on Friday, I'm not going to make that judgment. But I will, you know, agree with your sentiment that if it's done right, it is going to be big. I wonder how many ponies will be watching Xbox's developers. I mean, they're going to be watching it crying because they don't have any first-party exclusives. Chaos, where everything goes quiet, always gets us guessing. Steve, why are you saying Quantum Break? What bad game are you going to play next after we stream Fair World? Gotta figure out how to do polls. Gollum did not win. It was 50-50. I saw it. Sony games are always coming, but they broke their release roadmap with their pivot and away with gas. I think them stopping gas was a bad idea. What do you think, Nathan Hub? No, I said Quantum Break correctly. Such a good game. Alex says, I just woke up to a dead body. Damn, who is this Reforged Gaming I see constantly getting destroyed on the timeline? I wonder why he had to reforge. Oh, shit. Oh my god. Power boss win. I'm scared. But yeah, Reforge got cooked hard. You don't seem to understand how this industry works, because apparently he's the only one that understands how it works, by the way. Which is sort of embarrassing for an alleged news site. I reported what sources told me in my head. Your source says different. From Bethesda. Feel free to report that, and feel free to cite your source. Your sources claims I'm lying, but we are owned by a studio with clients across the industry, while you're a YouTuber that is only interested in speaking to those who give you money. Otherwise, their opinion doesn't matter, and you console war for clicks. God damn it, people, start giving me some money or you don't matter, okay? I'm only joking, but give me some money. You've not spoken to anyone. Execs didn't know who you were till I told them your name. I bet they know me, though. Okay, never claimed I spoke to someone at the company. You don't seem to understand how this works. I had two different sources, both within my head, claim something to me. Those sources could be lying or misinformed. That doesn't make me a liar. Well, technically it does, because you're reporting on a lie. You should have done your own due diligence. I've never claimed to have contacts at the company. Also, right? Also, I'm just going to put this out there. Right? You've got to be a special kind of dick where someone comes and tells you something in confidence about a leak. And the first thing you do is, hey guys, I'm reporting live from Bullshit TV, and today I'm going to be reporting on every single leak that my buddies told me. You got to be a special kind of dick for that. Like, I get told stuff, well, I'm starting to be told stuff every so often now. I'm not going to go and fucking start talking about it. They're telling me that shit in confidence. I can't go out and start talking about it. That would be so wrong. So unprofessional. You could prepare the content, so when the time is right, you can release the content. Sure thing. But to actually go behind their backs and report it, that's bad. Quantum Break, Rise, and Recall got shafted. yeah, Quantum Break was phenomenal. No problem. Free, but reviewed worse than they deserved. It did. YouTuber told the news channel, you have no knowledge of the industry. Okay, so look at it this way. That's a win for you that your last poll was 50-50. At least don't need to torture yourself like you did while playing con. Dude, the poll is coming again. One devil on each shoulder. All this pony hype because of a jet engine, God of War, Spooderman, remakes, embarrassing media game. Well, look, ADM. Reforge is now a massive fan of Starfield. The fact that he thinks it's coming to PlayStation, he believes now, he feels that Starfield is a really good game, and on PlayStation, it's truly going to shine. Did you also see his next video? Also stated how now has 3 sauces. Yeah, one's ketchup, one's mustard, and the other one's barbecue sauce. Reforge Gaming, paid, and he'll acknowledge you. If not, you don't matter. I know, right? Ain't reading nothing. Start paying up. Reforge has a future Fox News. Xbox needs to buy 51% of Pocket Pair and treat them like Nintendo does Game Freak. TheChaosLounge, when has Reforged ever been professional? He doesn't know what the word professional means. That doesn't make me a liar. I've attempted to claim I have contacts at I've never claimed to have contacts at a company. If they're not sources at a company or have any knowledge of the game's development or future plans, which they evidently do not, then you're just spreading misinformation. That's just your opinion. Constantly claiming I'm a liar because of the text you got is misinformation and false. We aren't claiming, and it's not our opinion. An actual source at Bethesda has said you're lying. Spreading something as fact when you have no evidence to back it up and no legitimate sources is you spreading misinformation. It's he's getting bodied. Now obviously his white knights, who still exist, decided to go and attack these guys and brought up the fact that he said, or these people said, that Starfield reviews are coming out on the 1st of September. Now, I've seen a couple of people that basically brought that up. Now, for those of you that do not know, when it comes to the review process, there's generally 3 review windows. You've got the ones that get it like a month or so in advance, and they get given plenty of time to actually review the game. You get people that get given the game up to a week in advance, and I've had that maybe once or twice to review the game. Or you get the people who are given the game on the day of release, be it early access or actual release, to stream and review the game. So those are the 3 release windows that you get for reviews. So technically he wasn't wrong. His one would fit in with the week in advance, which would be the 6th. So he wasn't wrong. None of you can do polls? Fine. I'll sign my own death warrant. You guys are actually making me sign my death warrant. You guys are mean, man. Like, seriously. Like, what's wrong with you? What game would you like me to play that's not gonna make me go crazy? Got him. What else could we have here? Oh, you're not? I'll have to sort that out. All right, here we go. Here we go. Well, that definitely wasn't what I wanted to do. That was not what I wanted to do either.